Hotep. I hope you're putting smiles on people's faces while keeping one on yours. You heard? We all about peace on the side. Salute to everybody in their journey. So I want to talk about moods because we have problems controlling our moods, right? And the reason why we have problems controlling our moods is because we're not at least awakened by the whole process of controlling your moods, right? So there's 7 principles. They call it Hermetic. You can consider it the axioms of Thoth, whatever you want to consider it. But it consists of mentalism, it consists of polarity, it consists of cause and effect, it consists of gender, it consists of correspondence, it consists of I believe there's another one. I think that's it. I think I said it all. No, I'm pretty sure I forgot one, but it'll come to me. But anyway, we're gonna start. Oh, mentalism, that's what it was. But anyway, let me break it down for y'all, right? So these principles is a universal principle for life, point blank, period, and applies to all planes in life, right? It doesn't matter what it is, mental, spiritual, physical, whatever, a decision, there's poles and there's principles in regards to this, right? Principles are the foundation of something, right? So we're going to start with mentalism, right? Mentalism is basically your conscious. Something that you can't understand is enigmatic to society, you know what I'm saying? The only thing that we know that it's energy, because it puts out something that could be manifested into the material world, right? But the thing here's the law with all. All is law. Law comes from the all. All is the universe. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's created that we see, that our eyes see right now in front of us is from the all. That's what's in our mind. Our mind is not our conscious. Our mind holds our conscious. Our conscious is actually the power within that's infinite. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't die. You know what I'm saying? So you need to understand that before anything, right? So if it's infinite, that means that it's capable of producing infinite thoughts as well, right? So you have polarity, right? Polarity is basically doubles, right? That's the best way that I can say it, double, right? You know how you got the North Pole and the South Pole? The North Pole is colder than the South Pole, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Because they are the same thing, but they vary by degree, which means that depending on the context of the situation, it would vary on degree. It would favor more of the other side, which would label it that specific pole. So for instance, right, happy and mad, those are 2 poles that are the same thing. They're both emotions, but the degrees make them different. One involves a certain behavior that the other one doesn't entail. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the main thing that you need to understand, right? Because that's where your moods is at. Like when you go from happy to sad, there was a change in the degree that puts you in whichever pole, right? The only way to actually fit into the pole that you desire is by suppressing the other one, by concentrating on the positive pole that you're trying to receive your energy from, right? So if you're trying to be happy, that's why they tell you to think positive, things like that. But this applies to anything. If you want to be rich, you think about things that have something to do with money instead of thinking about things that make you broke, like buying Black and Milds and unnecessary items that are unnecessary. I mean, of course, I just said it's unnecessary, but that doesn't matter, right? Here's another one. Well, the cause and effect thing, right? So with the polarities, right? So say if you're happy, mad, right? If you lean more towards happy, your cause is going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? And the effect is going to have happy results, right? You know, and likewise for vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So when you're happy, your cause is to do things that make you happy. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty self-explanatory. Now, rhythm. I didn't mention that one. Rhythm is part of the principles. That's what I forgot. Rhythm basically is an equivalent swing in a duration or a motion, whatever the case is. Like, for instance, the pendulum, right? So that your rhythm... Hold on, I don't know if they were talking about me.
It's 1243.
Oh, okay. Let me turn this off because I'm on break. So the rhythm, like I'm still studying, but I know enough to tell you the basics so you can do your own research, right? You know, not everything. I'm not gonna sit here and cap. I like to teach and learn at the same time. I'm not ashamed if I don't know anything or if I didn't understand something clearly, because 9 times out of 10, if a person wants the best for you, like if there's somebody else that's a teacher and that's able to explain things in a way that I can understand, then they will definitely say something. So I'm not shy to being criticized or anything. But yeah, with rhythm, basically, it's similar to pattern, right? Like everything had, like I said, duration, motion, etc. Now, there's certain causes that you do that'll create a rhythm that'll maintain you in the polarity, in a specific polarity, like happy. All right, so your cause is happy, so your rhythm is happy as well. Do you understand how all of this is linked? These laws you're supposed to use against each other so you can figure things out, and it's not easy. This is some things that if you're not aware of it, if this is your first time hearing about it, it's going to make sense to you, but it's going to take some time for you to actually apply this to many different things in life. Gender, right? This one will help you as well. So with gender, we're not talking about sex. We're talking about, to sum it all, I mean, there's more in depth than this, but to give you a basic understanding, you have feminine, which deals with more creativity, intuition, you know, things like that. More emotional, things like that, as opposed to the masculine side of the brain, right, which is the left side, that produces more logical, you know, your will, you know, strength. It provides strength to what basically the feminine mind manifests, because the feminine mind manifests the masculine mind is basically like the push, like the will, like to continue to do whatever, like consistency, anything of that nature, discipline, that all comes from the masculine mind. So when you have certain thoughts, when you fall too much in emotional decision making, is more impulsive and things like that, think of it as your feminine side being tapped into more. Like when you hear like people say, oh, you acting like a bee and stuff like that, they're making a reference to the feminine mind. But the thing is, they like to make it negative, which is not necessarily true. It's not true. You need your emotions. You know what I'm saying? That's a representation of who you are. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, if you don't control those emotions, that's where it's a problem, which means you're not tapped into the left side of your mind as much. So understand that, right? But correspondence, right? Correspondence is basically, it's similar to it's like everything is linked together kind of vibes. Like if something is connected to something, that's what correspondence is. So that will help you be able to fill in the pieces of the puzzle. Like, you know, how is this linked to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, say if you got a particular mood and you don't know how you got into the mood, correspondence will definitely help with that. You know, I have to do a little bit more studying on that. That's, you know, I did not give a good explanation of it. I'm just making you aware of it. Like I said, I'm doing the basics. Some of them I know better than others. But in regards to that, I would advise you to go do your research on that, because I did not give a good enough explanation for that. Because I haven't locked in more into that, because I'm learning. But the 7 principles, right? This is what you should. I'm gonna leave it at that, because I can't remember too much right now, and I don't want to repeat the same shit. Mentalism, polarity, cause and effect, gender, correspondence. Oh, vibration. Vibration. How did I forget that? Vibration. We're gonna get into that, but vibration and mentalism. So vibration, right? Here's vibration, right? Vibration is very tricky because you have to know these things in order to get yourself out of shit. Like on an easy level where it's not something where you gotta think too long. And me, I haven't mastered that because I'm still learning. But I have very, 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 very high instincts when it comes to energy. Like I'm very great at identifying energy and pushing certain energy away. So here's the thing with vibration, right? Vibration is basically something that constantly moves, like, right? Like our atoms, our molecules, they're constantly moving, right? I don't want to use matter as much because matter is basically they're trying to say is straight solid. But if atoms and molecules is constantly moving to the point where you know, like when you look at a tire, when it's moving, you don't really see that it's moving, but it is moving. It's just at high speeds. That's the same thing with atoms and molecules. You know what I'm saying? It's moving at a, you know what I'm saying? And this applies to everything, including your conscious. Is operating at a speed that you cannot see. You know what I'm saying? Like the trash can right now that I'm looking at. It don't look like it's moving, but there's so much molecules and atoms and stuff that are moving that it just looks solid. You know what I'm saying? But nothing is solid in life at all. There's no such thing as solid, like technically speaking. And, you know, scientists is moving away from using the word matter. You know what I'm saying? But everything is constantly moving, right? And it's these things, like, all right, in regards to communication, because that's what we're talking about, right? When you communicate something, you have to understand these words are actually a form of energy being carried through an ether, right? Whatever the message, like using a word, whatever, but it has a specific meaning into it that gives off a vibration, right? So when you say something to somebody and it offends them, that you gave them a specific energy for them to react off of, that they were able to identify because they're familiar with it. Fucking bugs everywhere. So you have low vibrations and high vibrations, you know what I'm saying? You got those, and also you got the celestial vibrations. Sorry, I wanted an Arizona. I want some New York shit. I ain't drink one in a minute. I saw one, I'm like, yo, I need an Arizona, bro. But yeah, like, so with vibration, right, you need to identify first off when you get into communication, right? I always advise that you don't really, you know, just stick to yourself and figure things out with yourself before you start getting to know people, building these relationships and things like that, because at the end of the day, you're gonna go through a lot of trial and error because you know, you don't understand vibration and how it affects you and the other person. So y'all might produce an energy that y'all not even aware of, but it still affects y'all, because it doesn't matter if you're aware of it or not. The natural law of these vibrations is still gonna take its place. So I'm not gonna elaborate too much on that because that's, you know what I'm saying? Look up the 7 principles of the 7 hermetic principles. I'm sorry. Look that up. You know what I'm saying? And individually lock into each one of these principles because they're very important, and then we'll continue from there. If y'all want to learn anything else, let me know. By the time I do the next video, I should be more polished in regards to the principles. But y'all see I'm on point. Y'all see I ain't playing no games. Like, you know what I'm saying? This shit ain't shit that you learn in one day, a week. Nah, when I want it to happen like that, I lock in 24/7, and that's what I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you control your moves, man. You have to understand that. If you don't understand it, then you don't want to change your moves. You don't want to fix anything with yourself. You're just bullshitting, and it's evident. There's no reason for me not to think otherwise. I don't care what come out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? And that's the level that I'm at because we wasted a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? I wasted a lot of time. So I'm not fucking around. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. Is either you accept what I'm saying and you on the same page, or I don't fuck with you. There's no in betweens. There's no, if you don't understand what, if you're not trying to understand what I'm talking about, if you just bullshitting, like I'm telling you something, right? Especially after you ask for help or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying in general. If I give you this information that I took my time out to figure out and to apply, practice, and shit like that, and you just not with it, like you just want to bullshit but still be in my face, get the. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to be associated with you. You a zombie. Like I said, I headshot zombies and bring them back to life. I don't want a zombie following me around, looking at my brain for food. No. I'm not here to give you food. I'm here to teach you how to hunt for food. Damn, I'm drooling and shit. Thought it so. That was real crazy and barbaric in me. But peace. I'm out.